It's a kitty. It's a kitty. You're so cute. Oh, I love you. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to tell you how to handle bad reviews. Congratulations! You just published your first book. It is now out for the world to see and to love and to praise the amount of time and work and effort that you have put into this precious little baby of pages and words and binding and glue. You're excited. You're proud. You are amazed and proud of what you've done. Not many people can write a book. Everyone likes to say they could, but no one really could. I mean, you have talent. You have heart. You just penned the next best American novel, or British, or Spanish, or wherever you're from. And now it's out, and people can read it. And you are just waiting for all of those good reviews to start coming in. And they do. Every so often you get a review, and they say about how amazing this story is. And you're such a great writer. And then one day, while you're stalking your reviews on Goodreads and Amazon and Barnes & Noble and every other site, and while you're checking your name hashtag on Instagram and Twitter, you come across someone who did not like your book. Inside, you feel rage. You want to cry. You want to throw something. Most of all, you want to ask them how in the world could they not like this precious, beautiful piece of work that you've put into the world? How dare they be mean to your baby? So, you talk to this person. You send them a message. You ask them why did they not like this perfection of a book that you've just penned. You ask them how dare they ever discredit your work the way they did. And then, when they don't respond, you post a screenshot of the review on your Twitter. Make sure you hashtag it. And you ask your hundreds or thousands of followers if they know anything about this person. Because, for someone to leave a review like that, they have to be one shady individual. This probably isn't even a real account. It's probably your ex-boyfriend's mother's sister's aunt that you one time spilled coleslaw on at the family barbecue. That's who it is. And you're going to sniff them out. But you're not going to sniff them out. You're going to have your hundreds of followers do it and tell you how amazing of a writer you are so that your ego isn't hurt anymore. Yeah, don't do that. Guys, I am going to tell you the best way to deal with a bad review. And that's to not deal with it at all. I know. There's a lot of people out there that are disagreeing with me right now. But guys, I'm trying to be patient with us. Because I love writing. And I love creating books. I love being able to do that. This is my passion. This is my job. That's the part that I think a lot of writers forget. This is a job. If you decide to put your book out there for the public to read, you have suddenly made this into a career, which means that all of that sentimental crap about your book being your baby and it hurting your feelings, you just got to get over, okay? It's a business. I know that for some reason, amongst our writing community, there are people that have romanticized our work. There are egos that are so huge that they honestly think that only a certain amount of people in the world could actually write a book. And it's ridiculous. Because the truth is that anybody can write a book. Now, whether it's a good book or not is questionable. But anybody can write a book. Okay? My niece, that's 9 years old, can write a book. So, anybody can do it. And it's just like singing or drawing or something. You may start and not be the best, but you can take lessons to learn. And you can practice and you can get better. So writing isn't some sort of one little tiny box that only a few people can fit into. Best writers are those who have a passion for it, who have stuck with it and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and keep writing even when they know something they've done is crap, and they're willing to put the work into it, into editing, to make it better. Writers are not something that's magically born from a Cabbage Patch or a pack of pencils or something. You know, we don't spring from our laptops and emerge as Stephen Kings. There's work in this. So to see a bunch of whiny writers go on Twitter and say things like, this reviewer doesn't understand what it's like to write a book. If they wrote a book, they would understand what it feels like when someone doesn't like your book. If you don't like it, don't review it. And the problem with that type of logic is that if we only allow people to submit 4 and 5 star reviews, the review system doesn't work. Every book is good. Every book is amazing. And I don't find out if this book is going to be something I want until I read it then. And although from a personal level, I tend to not read too many reviews before getting a book. Usually it's completely cover art and summary that sell me on a book. If I am going to read a review, this is going to be a shock to a lot of writers, I don't read the 4 or 5 star reviews. The first place I go is to the 3 stars. Now, sometimes I'll get into a hole and I'll drop down into the 2 and 1 star reviews. Because if a book is said to be bad enough, I want to read it. I really love a good bad book. That's a weird sentence. We are providing a product. I wouldn't expect to go on Amazon right now and try to buy a toilet brush and see all of the good reviews that, oh, this is a great toilet brush, and there's no bad reviews about it. And then I get the toilet brush and it's basically a toothbrush. A very weird analogy, but the review system is there for a reason. It may have been great for somebody that had a tiny Barbie doll toilet, but it's not going to be great for me and my regular sized toilet. I need to know that. So when someone reads a book of yours and they decide to leave a lower review, and they do decide to explain, which is a gift to you, it's not required. But if they decide to explain why this book is not good to them, some other reader is going to read that and go, well, I don't mind those things, and buy it anyway. This idea that our reviewers are the reason we sell books, or that it's up to them to sell our books, is absolutely barbaric. Okay? You are responsible for selling your book. You are responsible for marketing that book. You are responsible for selling that book. The reviewer and the reader is not. Also, this thing about having only 4 and 5 star reviews, I don't know if you realize this, but most people don't buy books when they only have those reviews, because they know that those reviews are often only coming from friends or writers doing review for review, or just people they paid to review. And that's really shady and that's really crappy, okay? I know that this is probably going to come across as a little tough to some people, but you gotta suck it up. And the one piece of advice that I could give any writer is to not read your reviews at all. That review is coming from somebody who read the book that you were happy enough to put your stamp of approval on and press publish, or sent to your editor or your publishing company for them to publish. The book you put out is the book you wanted to put out. And first off, if that's already not the case, if you published your book and was like, oh no, I know this is wrong with it, and then someone points it out and you get mad, that's your problem. Don't publish your book until you are satisfied that this is the book you want to publish. This is the book that you want people to read. And then don't read your reviews, because they're not going to help you. They are about this book that is finished and done that you are happy with. Anything they say is pure opinion to them. It doesn't help you now. You're not going to go back and fix everything they said is wrong with it. Unless, of course, it's like editing or formatting errors. You should definitely fix that. But if it's like they say, oh, there's too much gore in this book, are you going to go back and get all the gore out of your book? Because I can guarantee you that there is someone else that's going to review and say, oh, this book had like no gore. It could really have used a little bit of bloodshed. Well, are you then going to go back and add some more blood to it? It really doesn't make sense at all. That is why there is a system in writing and in editing and in publishing. That is why you write your book, you edit your book, you send your book to an editor who is going to line edit and copy edit and figure out if your plot is working the same way and tell you what to do to make this stronger, how to fix this sentence and that sentence. And then you send it to your beta readers. Or you could send it to your beta readers first, whichever process works for you. And you let them tell you how they feel about the book as readers, as both biased and completely honest critiquing your book. And then you take all of these opinions and you decide which ones work for you, and you form this book to the best that it can possibly be in your eyes. And when you're satisfied that you have finished it, you publish it. And that's it. You're done. You should already be working on the next one. This book no longer matters other than to market it, to tell people, hey, don't watch Survivor 52, read my book. Don't go swimming, read my book. Don't eat that sandwich, read my book and eat pizza. And that's me, because all of my books are in the description down below. Once that book is out, it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. You shouldn't be reading your reviews. I know a lot of authors go, oh, well, there's a lot of good advice in there, but there's not. There's a lot of opinions, which is what a review is an opinion. And everyone has their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And their opinions have no bearing on you as a writer. So there's no reason to read your reviews. If you happen to come across a bad review, I am begging you not to put this person on blast. I don't understand why writers want to alienate the people buying their books. If this person was willing to write a review for you, willing to even first off buy the book. Guys, I know that there are people out there that are so narcissistic and vain that hearing how amazing they are just makes their day. But guys, if you published your book, the first thought in your mind, maybe not the first thought, But pretty high up there was that I want to make money doing something I love. If this person reviewed your book or even rated your book, they bought your book, guys. Okay, Amazon has their whole verification system and everything. They bought your book. The money is in your account. That's all we want. Okay? Why would you want anything else? Why do you need to be coddled and told how amazing you are? Why? Did your mama not love you as a child? I'm going to try to keep it short with you guys. The best way to handle a bad review is to not handle it at all. The best way to handle a bad review is to ignore it and move on. To not read your reviews in the first place. To not worry about your reviews. To let readers, the holy grail of the publishing world, do their thing, and you go right. That's the best piece of advice I can give any writer. You go right. And the best advice I can give to any reviewer or reader, go read. And if you don't want to review the book because it was that bad, don't review it. And if you want to write out a 10-page essay about exactly why it was the worst thing you ever read, you do that. And if you just want to leave a rating, you do that. Let people have their opinions. It's not going to affect the way you're writing. It's not going to affect your sales. A bad review is not going to affect your sales. If anything, it will promote your sales. I hear there's some sort of thing about Amazon won't promote books that have so many low reviews or something. I don't care. Okay? Amazon is not the only place that you should be worried about promoting your book in the first place. Reviewers are not responsible for selling your book. Amazon is not responsible for selling your book. You are responsible for selling your book. And you are responsible for putting out a product out there with your stamp of approval on and selling that work. And if someone doesn't like that work, it's not their fault that your book doesn't sell. In fact, it's not their fault if your book does sell. It's not their job to sell your book. It is your job to sell your book. So go out there and sell your book and leave reviewers alone. Capiche? So my books are in the description down below. I swear if you're a reader, I'm not going to come after you if you hate my book. In fact, the only thing I really care about you doing is buying my book. And it's down there. It's down there. I don't read my reviews, so you can be just as cruel and ugly as you want to be. You can say that every character in my book is worse than Donald Trump, and I will not care. You can review this book or not review this book. You can rate this book or not rate this book. I don't even care if you read the book, as long as you bought it. That's all I care about. All of my other social media is in the description box down below. And make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Turn on the post notifications. And I will see you guys the next time. Kisses, my darlings.